Like, and that's a thing for artists. They have a nervous poo.
Okay.
Before they get on
like
stage.
literally your digestive system is like...
it's like, I need to go to the toilet. I get really nervous. I've got butterflies.
Welcome back to Creative Frequency. In this week's episode, we dive into the complexities of the music industry, focusing on the challenges DJs face, the art of DJing, and managing performance anxiety. We'll also explore the effective strategies for creating social impact and supporting disadvantaged creatives and communities in the music scene. Joining me is the dynamic Savannah, a multi-genre DJ, host, and passionate community advocate. Welcome.
Hello.
Yay. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a while since we met, so it's nice to like see you again, see where you are in your journey, and just like catch up. But I know you're doing like amazing things, so I cannot wait to hear all of that. But for those who do not know you, for those who are like, oh, we want to know a bit more about Savannah. What is your origin story? Where did your journey start?
Yeah.
And where are you now?
So hello, I'm Savannah. And I worked in the music industry or the creative industries as a whole for about 11 years now. I started off from a youth charity, and a lovely gentleman called Wisdom took me under his wing alongside a group of other creatives. I was a spoken word artist at that time. And, you know, he gave me a lot of amazing opportunities. Like I got to perform spoken word for Prince William in
really?
Kate,
Oh wow!
Of Cambridge, and got to go to various events like at the Royal Albert Hall and things. And I loved music. I loved dancing. I loved electronic music primarily. So I started raving from quite young, and I was like, oh, I could really get into this. So I started my own thing. Failed miserably, terribly. Had my 21st birthday, and that went really well. Kept that progressing, and then I entered the club world. So I've been running events for, some large drum and bass labels like Hospitality, for example, and working at events with UKF and various other bits and bobs. And I then started to run a company called We Are Impact, which was known as Tower Yard Impact for 3.5 years. Okay. For the largest creative community hub in Europe, having 250 businesses on site. So I ran their community engagement program for 3.5 years.
Amazing.
So I kind of went back and forth from running events to running one of the largest creative community hubs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're such a multi-hyphenate. Like you do all of the things. I love it. In terms of like DJing, you're a multi-genre DJ. Can you share a little bit about the styles that you were initially drawn to and how those styles shaped your artistic expression and like DJing?
Yeah, I started off with house actually when I first started to learn, because I was around a lot of house DJs. One of my family members runs a couple of house events at Ministry of Sound and E1 in London. So I started off with house, but I had a love for drum and bass. Like I love drum and bass. And because I was working in events in drum and bass, I was like, I really need to give this a go. I really need to try it out. A DJ called Indigo Rain, she asked me to jump on her Call FM show on Mince FM. And that was my first ever 1 hour drum and bass mix.
Wow.
And I was like crapping myself. I was like, can I do this?
Yeah.
I was so used to playing like house, hip hop, R&B, pop, garage, and like the bars and stuff. I did really well. And I was like, oh, I did it.
Well done.
And I've just kind of like progressed from there.
Amazing. Yeah. I feel like drum and bass, jungle, breakbeat. I think those genres are very intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Because when I was DJing and I was like, oh, let me try drum and bass. it's just like such a high BPM. I'm like, I'm really scared.
Yeah. You get used to it.
But obviously, for those who do not know Savannah, go check her mixes. Just like they're freaking insane.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, well done. Kudos to you for like keeping and pushing through and like now where you are now.
Yeah.
To talk about your, I guess, ventures. So you mentioned We Are Impact, but you're also the founder of United Synergies. Can you share a little bit about the mission? I guess for both of them a bit.
Yeah. So United Synergies was created by me, my friends Shaquille and Jade, who I've worked with Jade for years in events, and Shaquille, I actually started to mentor through We Are Impact.
Okay.
And then we started to work together because he's amazing. So is Shade. So our motto is that we don't gatekeep. So we don't gatekeep information about the creative industries. So we've had 4 events sold out, which has been amazing. Free, accessible. We had one which was navigating the world as a freelancer. So we had loads of freelancers come down. We had a positive mindset music coach come down just to help people kind of evolve their way of thinking and really believing in themselves and how they can achieve things in the creative industry. And we've had a couple of others because we really wanted to make a safe and accessible space for people to really meet like the creme de la creme of the music industry, and just to connect with each other. And it's gone really well.
That's amazing. I guess also in terms of like positive mindset and really believing in yourself, how do you deal with that? Like, how did it start for you in the beginning?
Yeah. I'm still working on that. I'm going to be really honest.
Okay.
There are some days where it's really difficult, but the guy who did the talking session is called Ross. He's called D&B coach, and he's been really actually, he's been really encouraging. And it's just for me now, I say mantras to myself in the morning or in the mirror, like, I am worthy. I have got this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
And my whole wall looks like a murder investigation. I've got like Post-it notes all over my wall of like everything I want to achieve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wake up to a whiteboard I found on the street with everything written down.
Wow.
All the places I want to play, all the things that I want to like, I don't know, contribute to the world as an artist. And so I wake up to that every morning. And sometimes I just got to really get my head out of my bum.
Yeah.
Just,
I love the bum getting out.
Yeah.
But it's so good to like visualize it, you know, because you're constantly confronted with like, this is the life I want to live.
100%.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I guess because you've been in the industry for so long and now you're a DJ, so it's like complete different perspective. But I wanted to ask you, what has been a challenge for you when you initially started as a DJ, and what is the challenge now?
Money. I'm so poor.
Oh no.
For now.
Yeah.
For now. I've always worked behind the scenes, and I've always done like artist development. I need to mention that I do freelance artist development for the MOBA Awards for MOBA One Song, which is really cool. So I'm really blessed in the fact that I've worked with so many incredible artists and just helped them build up their success. Yeah. So I can take it for myself. Now I'm doing it. I'm realizing, well, I've always known it's expensive, but God damn, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. So, you know, it's if I'm getting paid for a gig, then I'm not making any of that money because, you know, I'm buying like loads of lollipops for the ravers that come and see my sets, for example, videographer, photographer, travel, online marketing, like, you know, I'm making no profit.
Yeah.
But do I love it? Absolutely. And am I going to keep doing it until I get to the point where I can get, you know, charge a bit more? Then I'm willing to sacrifice that.
I mean, I love that you do the lollipops. That's amazing. That's really cool. Because I don't think I've been to a rave where that was happening.
Yeah.
So that's a nice touch. And it comes down to your signature. So I love that.
Thank you.
You're also like an advocate for like, you know, social change, making sure there's impact, making sure that marginalized voices are being seen and heard in those spaces. What are challenges that you face with that when you're trying to actively promote like inclusivity and diversity and making sure that people are like getting the opportunities that they also deserve.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've done with We Are Impact has been great because I've helped, out of Impact and in Impact over 100 people into employment.
Wow.
220 people in work placements because we've done various workshops, masterclasses, but also work experiences that last from 7 days to 10 weeks. We even did something with the Princess Trust.
Amazing.
So I've always, because I came from the youth charity background, they raised me.
Okay.
It's been amazing to be able to do the same in return.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need funding to keep those things going because it's at this moment in time, it's impossible for it to come out of my own pocket. But the funding that we have used it's really helped. And what we tell the people that come through the work experiences we've done in the past is it's all about positive mindset. And it's also about how you interact with the people in these, what's the word I'm looking for, in professional environments, At the end of the day, it's really down to you on the impression that you make.
Yeah.
But from the people that have come through our work experiences, they've done so well. And
when you are trying to actively create a space for all types of people.
Oh, yeah.
Community is so important.
Oh, yeah.
I guess my question then would be, how important is it to like find your community in a way that like, is it easy for you to find your community initially?
Yeah.
Sometimes I find it hard, like regardless of the art form, when you're starting, where do you find your peers?
Yeah.
Where do you start when you're trying to build something from scratch?
Yeah. I actually said this, I was speaking to someone yesterday, actually. They came around to my house for dinner and they wanted to get into like film.
Okay.
And I said, are you going to any like
film events and stuff?
Yeah. Like that's where you're going to meet the people.
Yeah.
If you want to be like a DJ like myself, you have to go to music events. You have to speak to people, There's this really amazing raver. His name's Aaron and he is at every event, every event. And he will stay back and he will wait by the green room, which is like the room where all the DJs go.
Yeah.
And he will talk to DJs. Like he is
I love that.
So good. His DJ name is Chancey Parker. And he is so on point with like putting himself out there and connecting with promoters and connecting with DJs that he loves and are inspired by.
Yeah.
If you really want to find your tribe, the only way you're going to find your tribe is by putting yourself in the space.
Yeah.
There are countless of events that are happening, free networking events that are happening all across London or the UK that are completely accessible. It's really down to you to just put it in a Google search.
Yeah. This is also like the type of like character you have. If you're outgoing, you want to do this, you want to speak to, you don't have any problems speaking to people, then I guess, it makes it easier. But if you're like a bit like shy, I'm like,
a little bit introverted.
Yeah.
But that's the amazing thing about like Instagram, for example. You basically have access, and LinkedIn, you have access to all of these amazing people who are working behind the scenes in the industry and on stage that you could literally send a DM to. Yeah. You don't have to meet them face to face. You can send them a short, sweet DM because we don't want to listen to paragraphs.
We don't want a whole essay.
Want paragraphs, people. There's so many ways to access the right people, to find your people. They're there. You just have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to go back to your career, your experiences. So you had some amazing opportunities. I guess I wanted to touch on some of the memorable opportunities that you had. Can you share them first before get into it? But some of the like biggest like moments in your career so far.
So my first big festival was Glastonbury, which is amazing. Opening up Silver Haze, which I was really grateful for. I did that with the Mobile Unsung guys. So I did my own mini set and then I was a DJ for the Mobile Unsung artists, which was really fun. And then last October, I supported Becky Hill on her arena tour.
Incredible.
Which is like amazing, 14,000 people in Glasgow. So that
must be scary as well. That's like a huge crowd.
Yeah, I feel like because I've always been on stage working at festivals and like gigs and things.
Yeah.
I was used to seeing that amount of people on the stage from like
just like working
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, but when you were up there, I was like, well, F it, I'm there.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, there's no going back now.
There's no going back. I was really nervous in the sound check.
Wow.
I was shaking and everything. But when I saw the people, I was like, it's now or never. Like, I've got a videographer here. I have to really put in my all. Like, this is my one chance to show that I can really do this. So just faked it, man. And it worked.
Wow.
I had a great time. Yeah.
I guess also, do you experience any performance anxiety? Like when it comes to, you're scared, you're like, but then when you're actually starting the set, do you still like feel like, okay, like I'm kind of.
I have a nervous poo every time.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, and that's a thing for artists. They have a nervous poo.
Okay.
Before they get
like literally your digestive system is like.
Yeah, it's like, I need to go to the toilet. Yeah. I get really nervous. I've got butterflies, you know, in my stomach. I'm like, what if something goes wrong? What if something happens? But when you're in it and you're locked in, then that's it. That all goes away. And then it's over like that. And you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
That's so funny.
You know? Yeah.
That's crazy. Because you also, like other opportunities, like, you mentioned Hospital Records, so you had a residency with them.
Yeah, that came about this year.
How did it come about initially?
You know what's so crazy about Hospital? You know, how did I decide to, when I was running events back in the day called Aggression Sessions?
Yeah,
someone asked me if I could stage manage for Hospital's Hospitality in the Park, which is one of the festivals they have in the park.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
is that in South London?
I think so. I can't remember.
Okay. I think it was.
Okay. And yeah, so I stage managed there. And then ever since I was like, hey, if you need me for more work, please let me know. So yeah, I always for years, maybe about 6-7 years, I've done artist liaisons. So making sure the artists get there, making sure that they've got their beverages, their food, their transportation. So I did that with them for years, and I did stage management for them. And then they gave us some money to run a 6-week program. Okay. Me and Wisdom for We Are Impact. Yeah. We then ran a 6-week program where we got loads of vocalists to work with their producers. Okay. So yeah, I've had a really great relationship with Hospital. So when I started to DJ, I was like, hey, can I have an opportunity, please? That's amazing. So yeah, my first gig with them, I think, was in Croatia for Hospitality on the beach. And I wasn't on the lineup or anything. It was just like, they just needed like an extra DJ. And they were like, okay, there's something here. So I did it again last year, second year in. I'm like, okay, there's something here. And yeah, this year was the first time that I've been on 2 of their lineups, which has been really good. So I'm like official resident now. Yeah. Nice. So this is also really 3 years to like. Yeah. Because I was going to say it takes time. Like you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah. You know, the relationship building and then actually making sure that you see the opportunities, grab them. Yeah. And then before you know it, you're like actually like seen and recognized. And you're getting the opportunities that you actually deserve. That's amazing. Before I go into the artistry of DJing, I wanted to ask you, do you have any tips for people who suffer from like really high performance anxiety? Like what was your go-to thing that you do like to like snap yourself out of it or like to I think meditation is really good. Okay. I take some quiet time because I'm really like energetic on my sets, but I really take some, even if it's in the toilet, I literally like just sit on the lid and just close my eyes. I love this. I also listen to like music that's not the genre. So I love listening to classical, or I have like this really nice chill playlist that I'll listen to before I jump on. Okay. But also just to like, you know, talk to people and just try and really enjoy the event. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like enjoy your surroundings and also just remember like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this, you know? Yeah. It helps. Like people won't even notice if you actually make like a tiny mistake. Like people don't know your set anyway. They DJs will, but no one else will. That's true. But no one else. No one else will actually notice. Cares, yeah, really. True. They just want to hear good tune. Good music. Yeah. Okay. Well, going into DJing as a craft, as a art form, do you think that DJing
is an art form first and foremost?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it like a skill? Is it an art? Yeah. Is it an art form or is it a skill?
I feel like the skills come.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely an art form. I feel like to be able to get, you know, whether it's one person on the dance floor,
Yeah.
or thousands of people on the dance floor,
Yeah.
to dance and feel the music with you, and
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, your choice of sound, or if you produce, you know, whatever you've created, can make someone move and put a smile on their face. That's beautiful, man. You know, like a film would, or a photo would, or, you know, a TV show. You know, like music is so important, and I think DJing is definitely a great art form that's been carried on for years. You know,
I feel like, because having conversations with other DJs and like just people who are audience members, who are party goers, some people say, yeah, it's about technicality. It's about how you mix. It's about making sure that it blends well, or you have two tracks playing at the same time, and you know how to, you know, you're creating a whole new track versus, oh no, it's about the track list. If the music is sick, then it's
a mixture
fine.
of both. 100%. You know, I feel like if you go to a bar, for example, and you're just going out for a few drinks with some friends, but there's a dance floor, and, you know, a DJ isn't necessarily mixing, but they may be playing songs like track by track, but people are dancing. Yeah. I think it's no different from someone who's like really mixing in, and also people are dancing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. But the skills definitely like matter as time goes on. But I think it's really dependent on where you go. You know what I mean? As long as you're getting the people moving, that is all that matters to me. That is it, you know? Yeah.
Do you feel like do you feel like DJs get enough support, or like emotional support, but also like people that cheering them on, not from like an audience perspective, but from like your peers?
No, I've actually seen a lot of this online, to be honest, and I'm actually noticing it for myself. I'm really lucky enough to have a network of friends who are really supportive, that will like my posts and maybe comment every once in a while. Yeah. But there are people who just watch. There are just people who are like, oh, raw, okay. You know, if I'm on Instagram to post and stuff, but because time and I'm just quite busy, I don't really have time to go through like people's stories unless I'm chilling. But if I do go through people's stories, for example, I'll give it a like or a comment or something like that. But you do kind of notice, like, as time goes on, like who's really like supportive. Yeah. It's usually the strangers who support more than the people like your peers. But then again, the DJs who I've been artist liaison for, stage management for, who have seen me DJ now, have been really supportive. Okay. You know, like, I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's me as a DJ. Yeah. That's been really, really cool. Okay. So
that's good. Like, you have your inner circle that are like, they're rooting for you, the people that you've been in touch with, 100, rooting for you. 100%. Okay. When I think of nightlife, raving, going to parties, DJing, stuff like that, a lot of that comes with alcohol. People drinking, having a good time is a social thing as well when it comes to drinking. But you started your journey, like your sobriety journey. What made it start? And how is it going so far, especially as a DJ? Like, because obviously people, when they go out, or when they think of DJs or just like party culture, they also think of drinking. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So how has that been from your perspective as a performer, as an artist? Yeah. I started a sober journey last April. And I got 8.5 months, and then New Year's happened, and I went partying, and then I stopped. And then I played a DJ'd show away for a weekend, and then I got lost in the sauce. And then my birthday happened, and I got lost in the sauce. And now I'm back. Now I'm back on it. Yeah, I'm back on it. It was tough but easy. It was getting easier after the 8.5 months. But there were points where I was getting really cocky, and I have to realize that
I do this as work, but I also love to do it in my free time.
Yeah.
So I am really trying to find that balance, because it can be really tough. Like, I've been doing it for years. I've been going out and, partying since I was 14. I'm 29 now. So it's unlearning these habits, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. I put a lot of pressure on it, and now I'm just like taking it one day at a time. And trying to avoid it, because when I stopped partying like that, like that's when things really started to skyrocket and the opportunities started to come. And I was reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with family, more in tune with myself.
Nice.
So, after my birthday had happened, it took me about 2 weeks to get back to my normal self. I was so anxious. Wow. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to play any shows. I think when you stop drinking and stuff for a while and then you start again, it really, you can feel it on your body, So I'm finally back to myself now, and I just want to keep the journey going at a time.
Do you feel like when you're DJing, like from your version now versus the one that had alcohol and was DJing, is there a massive difference? Like, do you feel like there's more alertness, or you're like more in tune with the people and the music?
Yeah, 100%. You're so much more focused. And even when you're like connecting with people and talking with people, you're not slurring all over the place or like anxious mess twitching everywhere. Like it really helps. I'd highly recommend for any DJ, even if you do drink or dabble in anything else, to just for the show, just stay sober and then have fun after.
Yeah. Okay. We touched on like the music genres, but are there any people in the space that have influenced you, like your artistic development? It can be anyone, doesn't necessarily have to be a DJ, but people that actually shaped your journey.
Yeah, 100%. Daisy's from Roughneck Records, 100%. Like, I was in Bristol a couple of days ago actually, and working on a track, which is really cool, but she's been really supportive of my DJ journey, like getting me gigs and advice.
Nice.
Indigo Rain, who actually does something quite similar to We Are Impact, with her charity called UF. Youth. I'm just,
Yeah. We'll put it in the description.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Oh no. She got me my first ever Rinse FM set on Cool, and she's been really supportive. And the people who are inspired by, like, Charlie T's absolutely amazing, on BBC One Radio and playing everywhere. Like, I really look up to her. She's a great inspiration. And there's a DJ called Cara, and I remember being at the D&B Awards in Ministry of Sound, and she got her first award, and I remember seeing her and she was so excited by it, and I didn't want to DJ at this point, but no, actually, tell a lie, I just came back from Birmingham on that day with a black female DJ called Temper.
Okay.
And she was teaching me how to DJ drum and bass, because I was really rusty.
Yeah.
And she took me to the D&B Awards.
Oh,
and
wow.
I saw Cara win, and I was like, that looks absolutely fantastic. Like, so yeah, there are loads of women who've definitely shaped my wanting to really want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Amma too. Amma's sick. And she gave me some wicked advice too. And she's one of the black female DJs in the scene who I really look up to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess also within the drum and bass scene, I feel like women are actually like taking over in a way. Like,
you think that, but there was a lineup that came out where there was not one female DJ on it. Not one. It was a phase one of the lineup, which is basically like the first round of DJs that are announced.
Yeah.
And there was not one, and they've gotten some backlash for that. So
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many like amazing female DJs, and then
but if you look at the festival lineups, there's still some way to go, But like you were saying about, building your tribe and community and stuff, what I'm finding is there are some amazing collectives that are happening. People are just starting their own there, I was going to swear then. People are starting their own stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they're building their own tribes. They're building their own labels, you know, like my mate Martha runs Not Bad for a Girl, and she's got an album launch on Friday. Like there are women and men and people who are just starting out who've done this for years, but are doing it for themselves and building, you know, a platform for people.
Yeah. I feel like that's where change also happens. Like if you don't see it happening around you in the space that you're super passionate about, then, you know, what will stop you from doing it yourself? Like you need to create it for your community if you don't see it happening. Looking back at your journey so far, what advice would you give yourself, your younger self?
Yeah, I would honestly, I just say keep doing what you're doing, because I wouldn't have gotten here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's very true.
I actually said this on another thing as well. I would say have more confidence in yourself. But you know what? Like all roads have led to this. Yeah. So I'm good.
Yeah. It's fine. There's no advice. It's fine.
You know, it's still really tricky, but I'm proud of my younger self, and you know, all of the things that I've went through growing up and stuff has been really tough.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be a tough cookie if it wasn't for all those rough patches.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of my younger self. So, yeah, I'm all good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to ask you as well, when you experience creative hardship, what is the thing? It can be a piece, it can be a quote, it can be anything that you go to, you know, find solace.
So my mentor actually said this from when I was a bit younger, and it's something like along the lines of, you know, if you keep saying that things are long, you're destined to kill dreams. So I really try and be wary as much as possible on how I use my words. So like if I say, oh yeah, this is long, basically, oh yeah, this is going to take ages. Like I'm never going to get there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, it's nothing too wise, but it's wise to me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like being really careful of what words I put out into the world, into the universe, so it doesn't deter me from getting things done. Yeah. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Just being very intentional with what you're saying and like how you view things.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you feel like you're working towards a legacy? You're on that path, like of creating something that will live on once you're gone?
I really want to be a world tour DJ. Okay. You know, that's my absolute dream. And with the stuff with United Synergies and the stuff that I've done with We Are Impact, you know, just allowing people to, not allowing, but just keeping on giving people that platform to be able to express themselves, be themselves and connect and get to where they want to be. Yeah. You know, because that's how I got started, through that charity. So yeah, if I can keep doing that, well, I get some more money.
Yeah. That will come. It will come.
But yeah, world tour DJ, and you know, like I want to see more girls that look like me on those stages, you know. But it's growing and it's building, and you know, there are things like, you know, EQ50, and Mothership, and incredible platforms that are giving people who look like me a space. So yeah, that's what I hope to give back to in the future.
Also, you are going to do something incredible. Like, because after, for those who are listening, we had a conversation before we started setting everything up. You, like, actually, I want you to say it, because I was like, what? You said it so casually. I was like, are you sure? Like, is this the same person that we're thinking about? Yeah. Yeah, because that is also a testament to all of the hard work that you've been doing, all of the things that you've been giving back to people, and just showing up and being in the right spaces and taking the opportunities. Yeah. It's gonna, your career is gonna, you know, skyrocket regardless. But when you mentioned the gig, I was like, what? Yeah. That is sick. So yeah, please tell the people.
Yeah. So, I got a call last night, and a promoter was like, oh, do you want to close for Andy C? So, and
Sorry.
So it's like Andy C is going to be playing and then he's going to, give the decks over to myself, which is amazing for his XOYO sold out residency in Old Street, which is a club that I've raved in since I was like, I turned legal basically. So yeah, and I've always wanted to play XOYO. It's actually on one of my bucket lists whiteboard tick offs.
It's actually on your whiteboard.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
That was amazing. And you know what's so mental about that? This is why it's good to post for any DJs, because I post consistently little clips of just what I'm doing. And I asked the promoter if I could play and I got aired. Like he didn't respond.
Okay.
And a friend was like, oh, I work with this promoter. He was looking for a DJ to close Andy C's set. And I've seen your post and I thought of you.
Wow.
And it was that same promoter who aired me.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
Full circle moment.
Full circle moment. Yeah. So apparently he didn't see the message, but
of course
I'm booked now, so that's good.
It's fine.
So big up to the person that put me forward. But yeah, it just goes to show, just keep posting. You never know who's watching.
Yeah. That's a massive achievement. Like, and there will be many more. But yeah, congrats to you.
Thank
I guess
you.
also with like performers, DJs, it's hard to like post consistently because you're just focusing on your crafts.
I actually really enjoy it.
Really?
I love it.
I find it so hard.
I love it. It's like I love editing it because I got diagnosed with ADHD last year.
Yeah.
Like 3 months into my first go at sobriety, and I just love being hyper focused on it. I have to be in the right mind for it, but yeah, it's really cool. Like, I actually don't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a mini tip for people that are like kind of struggling?
Yeah, I just use CapCut.
Okay.
Yeah, and TikTok and mess around. It's all trial and error.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I just press some buttons and hope for the best.
Yeah. Okay.
But once I find that formula, then I just copy and paste that formula. Okay. So I'm learning every day, you know.
Just doing it as you go.
Yeah, I'm doing it as I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
It's been really nice. Sometimes I do forget like what I've done. You know, you just you're just in autopilot.
Yeah.
And you just move on. So I think what I would say is to anyone listening, like, never forget what you've done to get to this moment. Yeah. Even though when times can feel like super tough, like, you know, we've got this. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Where can people find you if they want to like reach out to you? Yeah, so I am on Instagram and TikTok at sav.simms. That's at SAV SIMMS. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.